All right, Top Billin, real quick, man, wanted to talk about your man Cory Foreman. I remember I had the breaking news, what it was about a month and a half ago or something like that, when he decommitted from Clemson, and we were speculating where he could eventually end up at, right? Still a long way to go in the process, but he's narrowed his top 7 down, and I will say it's probably more like a top 6, but we can get to that particular portion here at the back end of this, right? So you got a top 7 revealed, and that includes with Clemson in there. I always think about when kids decommit from a place, then they put the school back in there. It's very rare that they go back to the school that they originally decommitted from. But we've seen it very recently, right, from a guy like Trey Sanders being committed to Alabama all that time and then eventually ending back up at Alabama. So it's not unprecedented, but sometimes highly unlikely. But you'll see here. He has LSU. I think it was a place that I speculated at. Of course, you get the usual suspects as well in Georgia and Alabama, 2 teams that I think do very well with guys with his frame, right? Being able to play a multiple style of defense, but being based out of an odd front. So it's a few different places that he could play. You think about a guy like this, right? Let's look at his official profile here. All right, we see here, listed at 6'4", 265 pounds. Going to be a little heavier than that. If you can see this right here and his verified results for his weight as of July of last year, right? So a full year ago, July 1st, he was 263 pounds. So you wouldn't think that a growing kid like this within a year could put on at least 5 pounds, maybe even 10 pounds. And what happens when he gets into a strength and conditioning program, right? He's a pretty decent kid as far as being decently lean. Not overly lean, so maybe he could stand to lose a little bit of body fat and then trim up or whatever like that. But I could easily see this kid being 275 pounds. So if he's around 275 pounds and you start thinking about odd versus even front, there's definitely something to pay attention to if you're talking about being able to showcase yourself for the next level here. So a 4.88 40, 4.5 shuttle, 30 in the vert. Not an overly freakish athlete type, right? Not like a Jadeveon Clowney type. More of like remember the cat Daquan Bowers? That's who he kind of reminds me of. More like that, right? A very good athlete, no doubt about that for his size. Not overly long. Could be more like a 6'3", you think, when he gets measured for real and everything like that. So these are things you have to take into account, right? So where would you play him at eventually, right? Obviously he's playing on the edge as a high schooler, but then he's going to have him probably reduced down. I think about being a 5 technique or maybe even some places being a 3 technique, right? So it depends on the scheme. But these are just things that I think about, right? So I think that's the fun part of scheming it up for a kid or you're talking about the process and seeing them going to the next level, thinking about that rather than just thinking just in general, you know what I'm saying? So, but man, the teams that he were talking about, right? So we go back to that. So LSU offers a chance to be kind of a 3 technique. If you think about them going back to an even front under new old DC Bo Pelini. Of course, Clemson's is an even front team. Oregon's a little multiple, right? They have some odd in their system, and then they play a 3 and a spare as well on an even front. So a little bit multiple there. A lot of things to do. You remember when this first came out, that was the team that I said to look out for, in my opinion, because I think they are just killing it on the recruiting trail, especially in California where this kid is from. But, hey, I don't know this kid to say that for sure or nothing like that. Just looking at the tea leaves and how recruiting is going right there, that is definitely a team that should be right square in the thick of things if you're this kid and you think about what they're doing, especially on that side of the ball, being able to play with a Justin Flo and a Noah Sewell, even catching a guy like Kayvon Thibodeau in his junior season before he goes on and becomes a top 3 pick or maybe a number 1 pick overall, putting that shine on the program as well. Then, of course, USC, right? That's home base right there. So you're going to, and they're actually cooking on the trail as well. So USC put itself in favorable position. So it's a lot of teams coming down. But I always look at Georgia and Alabama, right? Mirror programs there. They specialize in kids like this, right? He would catch a guy like Trayvon Walker, who I think is going to be a superstar, a potential number 1 overall pick himself, being able to play next to him. especially considering they're playing a ton of nickel these days as well. DJ Dale at Alabama can play next to that kid. Endless possibilities, man. They got a whole host of superstar inside presence types at those particular schools, or those two schools there. So obviously, no matter which choice he makes, it's going to be a good choice. These are some very good schools. I just want to know what you guys think about these schools. As for the 7th choice, man, I'm not really. Come on, man. Let's be real here. I think this actually does this type of stuff a disservice, right? Adding in an HBCU school, like, you're not going to go there, right? You're not going to an HBCU school. And if you're talking about some of the stuff that I saw that he was talking about in his tweet, that would be the school to go to. But are you going to do that? Somebody has to be the first one to do it. Maybe this kid could do it, but I highly doubt that a high-level blue-chip athlete is going to go to an HBCU in football. I can definitely see it in basketball easily, right? Basketball, it doesn't matter. You can be overseas in Europe and come back and be the number 1 pick. But a lot of these guys want to see you against the best of the best going into the NFL. It makes it a lot harder to do that when you're playing at an HBCU. But, man, I would love to see something different happen. He said dare to be different or something like that. That was in his tweet. Dare to be different then. You know what I'm saying? Go to Howard. That would be that. But I highly doubt that's going to happen. So you guys let me know. I know you guys are going to pick your favorite school out there. And you let me know where you think he best fits at as far as the position at the very least. And then we can go from there. But if it were me, I like Oregon there. But, man, I'm never going to count out Georgia or Alabama. And that's what I said, right? When the tweet immediately happened and everybody was like, oh, he wants to be closer to home. And what did I say? It don't matter. Georgia and Alabama are going to be in there. And look, they are both in there. Georgia and Alabama are both in there. And you know what those guys do on the recruiting trail. So if they're there, to me, they're there to the end because they're not going to stop recruiting, and they recruit the best, especially on that side of the ball. All right? With that being said, man, holla at your boy and let me know all the things that I said. And let me know about the HBCU portion of this as well. Could you see a cat like this actually going to a HBCU? Would it make a difference out there? And he's got Black Lives Matter all over his Twitter and everything like that. So if he's living up to that and he wants to dare to be different, what do you think about him going to a HBCU, right? I know a whole host of kids that, I'm saying, we talked to about taking this very kind of trek, and all of them were like, yeah, I don't think that's going to be happening there. So now's the time, maybe? I don't know. Let me know, all right? Peace. Yo, thanks for watching quality content. Make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, get all the notifications, but moreover, make sure you join. Starting at $4.99 a month, just $4.99 a month, you can get exclusive content from your boy here at Top Billin. You know me, the Underground King, giving you those exclusive chats, exclusive rumors and news, and all the innuendo and hijinks you love from your boy. You can get it exclusively, all right? Let's go.
What more can I say?
Top Billin.